Welcome, everyone. Today, we're here to discuss our SBP Digital Banking Onboarding and Subscription module. My name is Maya Lawrence, and I am a product marketer for the SBP Digital Banking Solution. I collaborate with product strategy, digital marketing, and communications teams to ensure the successful go-to-market of our entire SBP Digital Banking suite, and that's across MEA and Europe. I'm here today joined with Carlos Sulo, who is Director of Digital Banking. And Carlos, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, Maya, and hi, everyone. I'm Carlos Sulo, Director of Digital Banking Solutions and expert in onboarding, origination, and subscription.
Thank you, Carlos. Very excited to have you here as an expert in this domain. Thanks, Carlos. Glad to have you here as an expert in this domain. So what are we here to talk about? In this webinar, we're going to discuss onboarding and subscription and how it delivers personalized, comprehensive onboarding in minutes, plus quick and seamless subscription to bank and partner product services. So you are going to learn the key capabilities that the tools that are needed to create best-in-class digital banking experiences, the power of low-code drag and drop workflows, how you can go even further with things like digital signature, video onboarding, and biometrics, and then also some success stories. So how our customers have increased their NPS, amplified reach, and also boosted their subscriptions. There are going to be lots of time for questions, which you can write in the chat in the chat part of the tool. So let's go ahead and get started. So before we go into the specifics of our onboarding and subscription solution, which is actually on the previous slide, I'm going to explain the tenets, thank you, the tenets on which we've created the solution. So our onboarding and subscription solution is basically part of SBP Digital Banking, which was created to help financial institutions design, build, and run digital native banking services. And we help banks become best in their class so that they can quickly deliver great customer experiences thanks to a rich and flexible front end. Now, to create these best-in-class banks, we need to enable clients to do a few important things. So the first is to go mobile first with an omni-channel platform that focuses on engagement. They need to look towards the future, and they can do that by implementing a SaaS delivery model. And then they've also got to focus on customer experience through human-centric design. In the next slide, you're going to see that we have a solution that helps banks manage their client journey from start to finish. So that's from the first touch through with social banking and on to onboarding, servicing, loyalty, and beyond. This is kind of the context in which our onboarding and solution subscription was created. So let's talk a little bit now about the challenges that specific banks are facing today. So if we think about what's going on in the market, we all know that digital banking is on the rise. So about 60 to 90% of Europeans want to bank digitally. But the thing is that customer expectations, especially those from digital natives, are also increasing, and those are pressuring banks to deliver stellar customer journeys and to provide innovative products and services. All these customers want the best of the best, and they want it from day one. And that's why we're seeing that about a third of FIs lose customers right at the start of the onboarding process because it's too slow or it's inefficient. And if the customer does complete the onboarding process, even though they're unhappy with the experience, 43% of them are pretty much ready to leave the bank. So that's something that most banks would definitely like to avoid. They want to smooth out the onboarding process, and they want to make sure that their acquisition numbers are raising rather than decreasing. And of course, they want to make sure that their customers are happy and that they stay that way. So let's talk a little bit more about the specific pains that some banks are having, or that many banks are having. The first is that their conversions are low. So friction and lengthy processes are resulting in very high dropout rates. Also, the processes are inefficient. So because of a lack of automation and human errors, the processes are not going as smoothly as they need to. And then they also need to ensure that they can still, when they need to, rely on manual intervention for things like ID and risk checks but this slows down the process. Low satisfaction, of course, is also an issue. So slow onboarding leads to unsatisfied customers, as I mentioned before, but it goes a little bit further because we know that one-size-fits-all experiences are no longer sufficient for customers today that are banking digitally. You need to create tailored experiences for them to be truly happy. And of course, we have high maintenance costs. There's a very high cost of change due to the reliance on traditional coding. So how can we help banks overcome all of these different challenges? Carlos, can you tell us a little bit about our onboarding and subscription solution?
Thanks, Maya. So we'll go straight forward to see the look and feel in the middle for the application from the mobile banking perspective to provide a frictionless end-to-end onboarding in minutes. We say in minutes because we think that it's very important to have a fast track onboarding whereby we capture as banks and financial institutions mainly the real and the most important prerequisites instead of getting multiple information, which are not really relevant to the onboarding journey. So it will be fast based on steps whereby the customers would be able to connect and in an easy way provide those information in order to complete their journey. Multiple specifications. So we'll go through first the seamless onboarding, then we'll boost conversion rates. So practically, we'll be talking about how we would be able to convert prospects to become a customer with a high conversion rate. And we'll make sure that once the customer is onboarded successfully, he will remain also engaged for the whole journey. So we need to make sure first we don't have steps that are complicated. We need to make sure that the customer will not find some info not relevant, so he can complete and he can reach the goal and he can subscribe to more and more products. So essentially to onboard the new customers and also to have additional subscription whenever we have any customer who's already registered. Third point, which is lower operation and maintenance cost, thanks to the technology first, to have SaaS deployed solutions. Of course, we support multiple models, but it will allow to reduce the cost and be elastic enough in order to accommodate for the exact load and workload of the customers. We're reducing paperwork. We're making sure that from the back office, we don't have multiple users connected because the process is easy. They will get notified in an online mode in order to validate the journey in case the journey is not fully digital. So we give the possibility through parameterization to have a full digital end-to-end journey without any intervention from the back office. And of course, if you prefer a different model, you would be able to add steps, touch points, and based on those touch points, you would be able to interact vis-a-vis the customer in order to request for additional information, therefore to have a journey which is totally adapted to your model. At the right, we have the conception of the model and of the onboarding. So we're talking about low-code drag and drop workflow. All of these points actually would be described later on in other slides. We rely on analytics, and we think it's a main factor, first, to have a successful journey. Second, to understand the customer, to auto-enhance our processes, because, for the churn rate, when the customer drop off from the process, we need to understand when he drops off and the conditions why the customer is not completing the journey. So analytics is a big topic that will be described also later on. The integration part, the marketplace, the ecosystem, the composable banking, it's a main topic. And the last 2 points would be fully digitized portal to construct user experience. So we do not want to have our experience. We want financial institution to build their journey, and we will finish by configuration over customization, the main different, and why we go configuration, and we think it's a better approach. Now, for the subscription, we talked about onboarding, and for the subscription, we provide multiple models. The main ones would be the wallet, to subscribe to a wallet, then to subscribe to current accounts, saving accounts. We go debit account. So for sure, each workflow, its process would be streamlined based on the actual product needs and the prerequisite for this product. we cover student account, money market account, investment, brokerage, and package account. The main important aspect of the subscription part is the mix and match process. So the banks at any time, they can push their offers, they can package multiple products, and they can push some offers for a specific time, and later on the main product will come back. So it's a journey whereby from marketing perspective, you would be able to go to market in a fast way, in an efficient way, and the customer will get the needed at the right time. This journey will not be complete in case we impose our journey to our financial institution and banks. We're not here to have one model that fits all, as mentioned by Maya. So we need to have a one-stop shop, yet the customer to go and build his own journey. That's why we rely on a full ecosystem, on a marketplace, which is part of our foundation layer. So the banks, whenever they would like to interact with tools, technical tools, validations, like face recognition, ID legitimation, and digital signatures, and so on. So all of these tools, practically, you would be able to connect to the marketplace, to get the product, and to start using and consuming those services. So our model would be to have a rich marketplace whereby we onboarded and we did a full due diligence on the partner to make sure that we have the right partner, they have the right product, they have the right technology, they have the right security measures to be part of that ecosystem. So at any time, our customers would connect, would deploy those services, and they will consume them as part of their journey. So essentially, if I would like to go to have face recognition, I will connect to my marketplace. I have a list of products. I will get to that product. I will check it, validate it, and drag and drop and use the one that actually I need, and I can rely on their expertise in the market being leading in that domain. Here we move to the onboarding in minutes and the frictionless experience, and we see how we would be able to scan an ID, automatically capture the information within the ID and the signature zone, and automatically those information would be captured and would be added to the forms without having the customer defining or adding any manual detail. So it's important to reduce the manual errors, to make sure we get the right information, and we would be able, of course, to make sure that all those documents are authentic, the customer is authorized for this product, he is entitled to that product, and so on. So we provide a full validation on the journey end-to-end based on the customer experience. So for the details, so easy upload, automatically can be deployed, added, validated, and verified in real time. Point number 2, which is the insight, so used to improve and personalize the experience. So we don't want to have the same experience for everyone. So it will depend on the customer, his segment, his profile, and we need to tailor actually the offer based on his interest. So it's very important to get the data, to understand it, to understand the customer behavior, and based on that, to tailor an offer for the upselling, cross-selling, and so on. Third point, which would be the pre-populated information. We rely on the model of the tiered onboarding. So the customer is onboarded, he's a CIF, he has the needed info within the bank. Later on, he requests an additional product. So we need to top up those information to request additional information so he can get this product. And later on, if he's interested in a card, in a wallet, so we don't go the same journey again. So he just goes and validate in case there is any change or any updates, and he just add literally the difference information that would be necessary as prerequisite for this product. So this is the model of the pre-populated information, and we design it's best in class, it's customer and human centric. We'll have a look at the back office perspective, which is essential actually for our partners, for the banks we're dealing with, and financial institution. Sometimes it's fully digital, and this is the preference of the banks. Some products will require to add validation from the back office in case we have something specific and you would like to interact in real time with the customer to push notification to him whenever he has to add new fields, whenever we need to change the workflow, whenever we need to validate and have a full audit trail on all the changes conducted by the customer, which is totally feasible and it's part of the offering. And the other would be an audit on the customer details. So we audit the customer detail and we audit the users to make sure that if the workflow has changed, what are the added processes, what are the added forms and steps, and how it will affect the journey of the customer. So it's fully monitored from all perspectives. For the analytical part, also from the back office, it's essential because we need to maximize KYC and optimize the conversion rate. Point number C, we need to tailor the offers. So the customer, when he reaches the journey, he will get the offers that responds actually to his expectations. So we don't want to have some offers that everyone will go and get at the end of the onboarding process. We need to understand him and push some products which might be really important, so we reduce the churn rate and we make sure that the customer will complete the full process. Okay. We always push for configuration over customization because we think you will save 10 times the cost when we compare it to traditional coding. Also, adding the coding aspect would be complicated. It needs multiple testing, and it's different for the experience and time to market we're looking up to. So based on the concept of low code and no code, depending on exactly on which framework we're discussing, but this conception will allow first to go and navigate through the steps, add steps, remove steps, add fields, add validation within the fields. So it's a complete configuration capabilities that would be really flexible for the users to come and drag and drop them, add them, all the validation and the checking. That's one, which is related to the journey, and also for the workflow configuration. So it's a workflow that will be configured by channel, by segment, by sector. So once I connect, all the information would be captured. So the engine will redirect me to the process that suits me the best. We'll go straight forward to see multiple scenarios, and we will have Maya today a demo where we will go and show multiple types of scenarios. The first scenario would be a customer that begins his onboarding process. He will have to input some information manually. So he will fill multiple fields within the forms and navigates through the steps. And at the end of the process, he will get approved automatically in order to access daily banking. And if he's onboarding to an account, he will have a current account automatically created, since for sure we integrate to core banking and we create the account, we create the CIF, and we validate online the anti-money laundering. We fill the KYC. So we have the full journey end-to-end, whereby the customer can go fully digital without any intervention from the back office. So this would be our first model. Sure, we'll reduce the steps in order to gain more time, but that's essentially the scenario number one. Then we will go scenario number two. While we have customers that are being onboarded, we will change the process. We will add a manual review at the end. For instance, in order to validate the whole data that has been provided by the customer, we will add validation regarding the age and other type of validation to see how it will affect the currently onboarded customer. So he has to go back and to validate this information, and he will get notified on that, which is essential because sometimes changes are compliance, some changes are some regulations. So we need to make sure we would be able to cover this aspect because it's very, very important within the journey. And the manual review would be a form that would be sent to back office in order to validate it. Then we go to scenario number three, where we will be adding a partner solution for ID legitimation. So the same scenario would be conducted again, but our customer now, he will scan his ID all the information would be captured automatically. So he doesn't have to highlight any information, and the journey will resume and continue until being connected to get the real package or the product that he's been enrolled or subscribed to. Okay. We will move to the video, and we'll start describing what actually we're going through. First, we're just signing up to define the name and the email and the password. Once all the information would be provided, the user will receive a confirmation email, and that he has to validate his identity. So once all of this would be created, we will go to a mail catcher in order to intercept this email. So currently we're intercepting it, we're approving, and we have multiple onboarding journeys. So we can join the wallet system, we can join and create an account. So practically here, we're being subscribed to an account. You can see on the left side, all the steps that we added from the back office that are completely parameterized. So we can go and create a new one from scratch, and as well we can rely on the existing one. So I will define the information, then we go to consent management, where we agree on the conditions set by the bank for GDPR compliance, for the usage of the info for validation. So all of this should be part, it could be actually a part of the journey. We're going to the address to define street, the country, and so on. So all of these practically are information that are deemed necessary for such kind of process. We go to tax information. For American citizen, of course, we need to go through the 10 and the W8 forms and so on. Otherwise, we go through the offers, and we can see we have two offers, a current and a saving account, which would be tailored to the customer need. So if I choose the current account, automatically I will receive the congratulation, and I will move to daily banking, whereby I've created a new customer called Carlos Sulo, having a current account, and I'm connecting to his dashboard, whereby I can have all the information centralized in the center place. So we went on a short journey, 5 easy steps, and of course, we can add other information, other steps online, and back office validation. All of this can be conducted easily. Now I'll move to scenario number 2. My customer is getting connected. Just to begin the same journey, later on we will move to back office. We will change the process flow to add multiple steps and see how it will affect our customer. So we go back to define the country. Some information are mandatory, while others are not. So everything can be parameterized on the back office. So we went from the first step to the second, and now I will navigate to the back office. So this is the look and feel. This is the presentation layer of the UI of the back office. So we go to that back office. I can duplicate the same process, the same workflow. We can add additional processes. So we see that we have like employment information, financial information, AML check, delivery location for cards, checkbooks, and so on. And we have additional custom forms that I have added, so I can reuse anytime we have any requirement from a customer whereby the form is completely different. So we can revamp a full form from scratch. Here I can go and add any new customized field to my forms, and I will define the type and the validation on that field. So feel free, if you have any model which is completely different, to change it or to rely on the existing form and amend the ones you have. So all the models are open. So here I'm adding a validation and a condition on the age to have a dedicated product for major and another one for minor. So I added a condition which is age should be greater than 18, and automatically when I go back to the customer, he got a message that he has to be 18, have minimum 18 years old in order to resume. So either he has to exit, or if he done a mistake, he go back to the form, he change practically the age and the birth date in order to move forward. So now we change it and we can go forward to the next steps. And the second step that we added actually is related to the manual review. So at the end of the journey, the customer would be in a pending stage. And from the back office perspective, the user will go and validate the information. He can accept it, or he can even request any additional or add any additional step or cancel any stage because he thinks that there are some information that needs to be maintained. So we go to the back office. This is a look and feel from user perspective. He can see the journey of his customer with all the steps. Then he can navigate to any specific step to see the information that has been provided by his customer. So our user today will go to one of the steps to cancel the step because he thinks that multiple passports have been provided. So the customer should provide the address in the other country. So that's why he can cancel the stage. So the customer in his home country now, he has an address, he has to fill it. This is the response of the back office. So when the customer connects, he will get notified about the message from the back office that he has to provide such information in his home country. So I had to connect again as a customer to add the things that has been requested in order to go back and continue my journey. So practically the message here is that we're providing multiple models. One is fully digital with all the validation. Another one is digital, but with a manual review. And within the manual review, your back office user would be able to cancel any stage. And if they deem any information necessary to be provided, they can add it and request it from the customer. Automatically, they will receive the push notification in order to adjust the situation and to amend it and to add the needed documents, validation, so they can resume their journey. So here we go again. The information has been provided and the customer would have the account created and he is onboarded successfully. Third process would be to have a full digital end-to-end product while we have ID legitimation. So what we will be doing is that we will go to the process, we will amend it, we will add an ID legitimation, and this ID legitimation, it will be connected to partners within the ecosystem and within the marketplace. So here I choose Shufti Pro to validate to validate the ID of the customer, and we added it at 2 levels for the ID and for the passport. So all of these information are can be completely parameterized. So when I connect again, the customer will no longer have to maintain the name and all the other information which is related to the personal information. So those would be maintained automatically. So I will go through the journey. Now our first step, as you can see, is the ID legitimation. When we will start the ID legitimation, we will be calling the technical tool that will evaluate the documents. So we connect it to Shufti Pro. We validate this connection, and now we will have the possibility to have either the passport or the ID based on what we parameterized in the back office. So now my customer can either scan his passport. So here I'm using my Lebanese passport. So either he can scan his passport or he can have a video. So the information would be captured, or he can use also the photo in order to get the information again. So now, after the first validation, the tool will go and analyze the authenticity of the passport to make sure that it's not compromised. And then we will validate a face recognition that we can see now for the customer to make sure that it's a real face with a real motion and it's conform, and actually it's the same for the provided document. So 2 validations would be executed. First, which is the verifying of the face, capturing the information, And this capturing of the information will allow the algorithm to validate that it's a real person with a real motion, and then to compare it with the document, and then a large repository of documents would be validated, including the passport, the IDs, with the possibility to integrate with the national ID within the countries. So all of these models practically would be added as part of our technical tools that will allow you to have a full end-to-end digital journey. So after verifying the face, we're verifying the document, and we will sit precisely, we will put what would be the margin of error and validation. All of those features for sure would be available. So once it's successful, we did the ID legitimation, the customer will no longer have to maintain details. So that's why we skip and go to consent. So no details, no personal details to be filled, because it has been fully captured within the digital processing. Of course, we can add the digital signature. We can request for the agenda to meet one of the personnel from the bank and the financial institution. So all of these steps can be pushed, added as steps, like AML. Whenever you are dealing with a third-party AML, it will be there. If you want to complete the KYC or there is any update on the KYC, so all of these can be added on as steps, so we can navigate through the steppers. So now the back office got notified because we have a manual review step. All the details are there, it's approved, and our customer or our prospect is now a customer with a current account already in place, so he can start transacting. So basically, that was the purpose of our demo today, to have 3 workflows. We did not go and complicate the process, to make sure that we will be able to have multiple processes, and of course, any kind of additional info can be added to the journey. Oh.
Okay. Thank you, Carlos. So I think that Carlos did a good explanation of all of the benefits that you have with our onboarding and subscription solution. But I'm just going to give you a quick summary of some of the things that you were able to see in the video. So the onboarding that we're able to provide our clients can be done in minutes. So it's simplified. There are automated processes, and it's very easy to configure, review, or skip policies to reduce the friction. And of course, it's omni-channel, so a customer can start on a mobile or a desktop and finish on another device, which is extremely important for today's prospects and onboarding. Of course, also, we help boost conversion rate and extend reach, so we can help banks create tailored customer journeys and onboarding through any channel or partner. And I think that you saw and got a little bit of a taste of that as we went through the ID legitimation stage there in the demo. But we're able to connect to different partners so that you can localize your onboarding and make sure that it's specifically what your clients need. We also optimize cross-sell and upsell, so you can create relevant and personalized offers that are specific for your clients, which, as I mentioned at the beginning, is extremely important when we talk about today's digital journey standards, offering those tailored experiences that the customers believe are truly specifically for them. And then, of course, we enable the quick subscription through the reuse of data during the subscription process. And of course, it's very easy also to subscribe to additional products. When Carlos ended the demo, you saw on the screen on the right that there was an opportunity to move on and purchase a card. And then, of course, we also help easily orchestrate and change workflows. That was displayed through the drag and drops that you saw. He was able to easily use throughout the process to change the workflows. And of course, you can gather data to build analytics and identify weak points so that you can optimize that process even further. When we talk about the flexibility and differentiating use cases, we help you to easily orchestrate and change those onboarding processes so that you can build the use cases that are right for you and your customers. And then, of course, in order to do that, we help you to easily integrate with partners so that you can mix and match the products and services and personalize the offers even further. And then last but not least, of course, lower operations and maintenance costs are extremely important. So thanks to the low code drag and drop workflows, the efficiency is improved. That's also thanks to the automation. And then you can decrease the cost of change compared to traditional coding by 10. So those are just some of the different benefits that we offer in our onboarding and subscription solution. And I will let Carlos continue on and tell us a little bit about some of our clients.
Thank you, Maya. So now we'll move to the testimonials and the references. Practically, we'll go through 3 successful stories from different geographies. Fedor Bank, Europe's original challenger neobank, recognized by Salent in 2019 for the Marketplace Bank of the Year. Second successful story, which is Money Smart by Adib, Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank, holding the EFMA 2018 Innovation Reward, being the first community-based bank in the Middle East. And third reference is Banksy by Natixis, having 100,000 of applications downloaded in 6 months, being the first mobile bank in Algeria. So we went through 3 selective references, and we move now to the testimonials. So the testimonial would be from Julien Jolivet, co-founder of Banksy Bank, which today is using and managing the cards, create real-time saving accounts, order a new Visa card, and it's completely new in terms of product acquisition. So for him, they were able to achieve important results in 3 years, which would have required 10 years without the onboarding process and without the digital end-to-end workflow. So that was what has been highlighted by Mr. Julien. And,
okay. Sorry to cut you off. Thank you, Carlos. So you're probably wondering what exactly have some of our customers achieved. Carlos explained a little bit about some of the customers that we have all over the world, different types of banks, and he gave you a specific client reference that we have and a quote. But let's talk a little bit about the numbers. So we're able to, of course, help our clients to acquire customers through engagement. And one of the different modules that I explained at the beginning is our community solution. And thanks to this solution, which is basically a social network that helps to incentivize customers to engage more with the bank and then continue towards onboarding. We've got customers that were able to convert 40% of the users from their community to become banking customers. And for that solution also, we've got 1 million users across the globe. So we are able to definitely create solutions that help to increase engagement and then move and push customers on to the onboarding stage. And then we're also able to help boost customer satisfaction and help banks meet today's digital journey standards. So Fedor Bank, which is one of the customers that Carlos talked a little bit about previously, actually has a net promoter score or a customer satisfaction score of over 70, which is a very great score for customer satisfaction. And they're currently using the onboarding solution as well, in addition to other ones. And we can also boast that our customers are able to provide 5-minute onboarding to their clients, 5 minutes or less, which is in line with industry standards as well. And the last kind of KPI I wanted to tell you about was cost of acquisition. So customer acquisition cost, of course, is a very interesting thing to talk about when you can say that the average incumbent bank actually has a customer acquisition cost of around 300 euros, but Fedor Bank, one of our clients, actually has one of 13 euros. So that's a huge difference in customer acquisition cost thanks to digital solutions. So those are some of the different KPIs that we can tell you about our clients. But it's not just our clients that have these great results. It's also their clients. So their customers are saying on their apps that they are indeed happy with the solutions as well. So we're able to provide banks with the tools that they need to provide the experiences that their customers are expecting and that they deserve. And Carlos, I will let you continue on, and you can tell us a little bit about, in summary, what we've discussed today.
Thanks, Maya. So we will have 2 points to discuss here. First, what do we provide, and what's the expectation of the banks? So what we provide a full cloud-based SaaS 24/7, so a standardized platform. So this platform is modular, is scalable, and is elastic. So we know that our customers today are eager on making sure that they only pay what they consume. So in terms of traffic, in terms of processes, we make sure that the scalability we are providing today will allow them to grow. And when they consume more, they will be utilizing additional resources. So the model would be very essential and very important for the initial investment, which might not start that big. Second important point is the end-to-end service with our team of experts. So the way we support the solution, the way it's fully monitored on the cloud, and the operational part, which is part of our Sopra Banking Cloud platform. Last point, which is the marketplace and the fintech partners. So also the journey that needs to be constructed by our customers would belong to them, would be a big differentiator in the market. So when we connect and we see the same workflow and the same onboarding solution and subscription being part of multiple banks, we will not for sure recognize that it's a standard or it's a solution that belongs to a specific vendor. So this is one essential and important part. So we provide the backbone of the solution while we leave for the banks and financial institutions to imagine and to draw their model. What the banks would be getting: a full digital transformation, and it can be tiered and it can be progressive. So there is no need to go and digitalize all the processes. We can go by process to be added to that journey to become a leader in a highly competitive ecosystem. Because the time to market is really fast, because at any time you can change, at any time you can adapt, and you can adopt the standard also, because we provide repository where you can start fast. The third point, which is be removing the friction and engaging the customer, because we're not only shedding light on how to onboard the customer, but also we need to have him engage in multiple products and multiple offers every now and then whenever he's part of the platform.
Okay, thank you, Carlos. Great summary. And I think now it's time for questions. So if you can go ahead and write your questions in the questions area of the tool, that would be great. While you're doing that, I just wanted to make a very quick announcement. So on the next slide, you will see that we are I hope that people can hear me. I'll go back and reset what I said before, but I was talking about the Sopra Banking Summit. I think that you saw the slide. It is a fintech festival in person and virtually, where we will have discussions with experts on trends, workshops, and thought leadership sessions. And then I said that you can scan the QR code in the next slide if you would like to have a talk or see a demo with one of our representatives. So if you go to the QR code slide, Arthur, that'd be great. Thank you. And now I can get to your questions that you have left in the questions area. So the first one that I see is, can we have the replay of this webinar? Absolutely, you can have the replay of this webinar. So we'll be sure to send that to you after the webinar is finished. And we've got another question here that I see, probably for you, Carlos. What segments and products are supported during your onboarding and origination solution?
Okay, practically the product we demonstrated today, Maya, is related to retail and can be extended for SMEs. So this is actually the product that we presented. It doesn't mean that it's the only product we provide for the onboarding, but it depends on the customer type in order to have the maximum coverage. So this is from the segment of the customer, while the product, as mentioned, we have a variety of products. All of these will require the steps that can be linked to the steps within the process. So if you want to have cards, wallets, accounts, checkbooks, any retail product can have its own steps and can be mapped to the workflow, and it can be part of the subscription. So we don't have limitation on that field. So that's for the question related to the segment and the type of product. I can also see another question, Maya, related to credit decision. For sure, we support it, and we support multiple models of credit decision. We have populated forms whereby we capture all the info and we calculate it based on the info we have and other source of info in order to have a real-time decision in real time for the customer. We support depends on the location, because we have authorities sometimes, we have credit bureau, so depends on the country and on the region. So we also integrate with partner solution and with authorities within the countries in order to maintain and make sure that we have an effective credit decision. So this is the second model we support. So either national authorities, either a pre-populated form whereby you can go and define the rules and conditions and have a calculation, and that will lead to a credit scoring and a credit decision. Point number three, also we have partners within our ecosystem, depends on the region, that have their own tools that can be used anytime we're building our journey. So Maya, basically this is the answer on the second one. We still have other questions?
I think there was one more question. Hang on one second. Yes, there is a question that came from the chat area. Do you support corporate customer onboarding?
No, actually, what we demonstrated today is not related to corporate customers, because, of course, the process has different aspects and it goes in a different direction. So what we've seen today is only for retail and can be extended to SMEs.
Okay, and I think we have one last question. We're 2 minutes over, but that's okay. When you say full platform, then can the onboarding and subscription solution be purchased alone without other modules you mentioned in your stack?
Okay, practically within digital banking suite provided by Sopra Banking, it's a modular platform whereby we have multiple components. Those components are totally standalone. It's a solution based on microservices that can operate and scale in a standalone mode. So that's the part related on how we deal with it. Also, it's fully agnostic when it comes to core banking and other surrounding systems. So it can integrate, it can connect, and we deployed our solution practically in multiple ecosystem and multiple infrastructures, so it can interact easily, seamlessly with the surrounding systems.
Okay, and I think that's all the questions that we have time for today. If your question didn't get answered, then we'll definitely respond to you via email. Thank you everyone for attending the webinar. As I mentioned earlier, we will send you a replay. And of course, if you have any more questions or inquiries, then you can flash the QR code that you see on your screen, and we will get back to you as quickly as we can. I hope that everyone has a great day.
Thank you.